What's up, guys? Today we have Jin in the chair and we're gonna be doing a haircut on him. All right, bro, what are you thinking of doing today?
Pretty much thinking of just going with the mod cut, a lot shorter all throughout, tighter on the sides like a grown out mullet, and pretty much that's what I'm looking for today.
Are there any things you don't like about your hair at the moment?
My sideburns can kind of get out of control, so definitely a lot tighter on there, and my back can be like a lot longer than the top of my hair. Length, shorten the length there, where if I wanted to wear a hat, it doesn't look out of place or anything like that.
Yeah, you definitely have some pretty thick hair, so we'll get that cleaned up, reshaped, restructured. Sound good? Cool, let's do it. Yeah, one thing that I definitely want to keep in mind is just looking at the length of how it's previously cut. Taking a look at his crown right here. This is the length of the crown getting into the back, but this is the length of the back, which is about an inch longer than the crown. So we want to keep that in mind. The shape we want to have is a bit different than that. This was cut a bit more round in the crown, and this is protruding a bit too much. So instead, we're not going to cut this. We're just going to reshape the back more at a vertical slant this way. Reason being is we don't want to go too short in the crown. We want to keep a little bit more weight in order to create a different shape and silhouette with the hair. Similar to that, you can see right here, a bit shorter than what we have on the sides here, and that's why it's kind of creating a little bit more flatness through here, a bit too much fluff through the sides. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Essentially, in this internal area, we're not cutting much. We're just cutting off what's on the exterior, all this extra weight here. But other than that, we're gonna get him rinsed out, get his hair saturated, and we'll start. So now that we have his hair saturated, which is very important, we're just gonna section it off. And as you can see, we created a nice box panel for the top. Now we just have this back panel that we can work on. What I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna use a vertical section straight down. The way. Reason why we wanted to saturate the head fully is just that it makes doing our sections way easier. Essentially, we want to use the longest point of the crown, which is going to be right here. It'll be like that. All right, once we follow that down, I'm just going to keep going, following that line. From there, you can kind of already tell, visually looking at it, that this side is a lot more layered compared to this side here, which we haven't cut yet. You can see there's a lot more texture, a lot more movement compared to this side. You know, longer streaks, longer hairs. So we're just gonna do the same thing to that side. And just like that, the back is pretty much complete. We're gonna do some customizations of the bottom later on, but as you can see, it's already way more textured, way more flowy. We're gonna start with the right side here. And because we know he wants to go pretty tight on the sides, we're gonna take our guide from the back, change our angle to go tighter towards the sideburns. How we're gonna do that, we're gonna do a horizontal section to start off. And once we have that, we're going to grab what we're gonna cut at the bottom of the side here. As you can see, we have a guide from the back, right around here. We're gonna take that and we're gonna follow through to the sideburn at an angle going tighter towards the front. And now that we have the back and the sides done, all we need to do is connect in the top. So he wants it above his eyebrows, a bit above his eyebrows. And we know the hair is wet, so when it's dry, it's gonna shrink up a bit more. So we're gonna be cautious of that. We're gonna trim it right to his eyebrow and it's gonna lift up when it's dry. Once we have that, you can see we're just gonna follow our guide. So if we see what we cut in front, which is right here, we wanna take the longest part in order to have a bit more weight for the fringe. We're gonna take this long part right here and we're gonna cut through. Okay, now this is the fun part of a lot of haircuts. Once we did the cutting, just the extra customization. As you can see, we left the back a bit longer. Obviously it's too long. We're just gonna come in with our feather razor, clean it up. This part is fun because it's very visual. You're just cutting what you see is a bit too long and just making adjustments little by little. Now that we have our cutting and our touch-ups done, and yeah, all we have to do is apply product now, style it, dry it up, and from there, if anything else we want to do, we can make our very last adjustments. Alright guys, so here we have our final look on Jin. As you can see, did a whole restructure on his hair, making it look a lot tighter through the sides. Still kept a lot of the texture and the movement, brought up the fringe above the eyebrows. Basically, as you can see in the crown, we kept the length of where it was at, but we use that as our guide for the rest of the hair, creating a nice shape through the back, nice silhouette all around, and for the nape, left it a little longer, enough to add some more flow and movement there. Overall, you can see the shape we created with that vertical cutting line we had, slightly triangular shape. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed watching and hope you guys learned something.